everyone, welcome back. This is Tesla, and Tesla has been doing wonderful, and you see the stock has been climbing very fast. And this, as you know, this Tesla is listed in Nasdaq stock exchange, and the climb here is actually a parabolic climb. And we know that when stock climbs very fast in a very steep manner, it will somehow later come a time where it start to fall, and the fall is also going to be very steep. So we are experiencing that right now. So the fall is actually happening. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to analyze this Tesla stock. We're going to do a bit of prediction, what is going to be the next price target, and we're also going to see whether this Tesla is going to keep falling down or is going to stop somewhere. No, that's what we aim to do in this, and we will study the sentiment of the current market by looking at the price actions, and we're going to learn a lot. Okay, so this is Shah&Co channel. Please like and share and subscribe this channel. We're going to start very soon. Okay guys, let's have a look into this particular Tesla stock. And as you know, this Tesla stock is actually currently experiencing a downtrend, right? So we have got a top side here, and then the high is here, and then the high is making a lower high, and the low is also probably get lower, right? So we can already see that this is actually kind of making a downtrend. So we expect the price is going to fall because of this downtrend pattern that we actually trying to, or rather we are experiencing right now. Now we want to analyze what is the sentiment in the market right now, so that we can do a bit of prediction on what the price target that this Tesla is gonna have. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a method where we're going to use this particular tool. Okay, so we're going to look at, in terms of, first we're going to look at the time. So we're going to analyze from time domain. So how quick a particular buyer is pushing the price, and how quick a seller is actually pushing down the price. So we're going to look from the time domain. Okay, so before I introduce the tool, right, so I just want to let me delete this. Okay, now we're going to look at this Tesla chart. So as you can see that this chart is actually experiencing a downtrend after a very steep increase. Okay, so now we can see that here is the top, and then the next top is actually getting lower, and the lower is this part, and we're expecting the low to become even lower down here. So it's basically kind of in a downtrend. Okay, so now once this is in a downtrend, then we can try to use this analysis to try to predict where the next price for this particular stock, where the target price, where it's going to stop falling. Okay, basically this is now in a fall mode. Okay, so to do that, you need to introduce you two tools we need to use. One is the ruler here, and another one is actually this particular tool, which is called as the name for this is trend-based Fibonacci extension. Okay, we're going to use these two tools to actually help us to do this analysis, which is actually known as that art analysis. Okay, first we'll use the tool. So we take the tool for the ruler. So we take the high here, and we move it all the way to low here. Okay, so now what we are trying to do right now, we are trying to analyze the sentiment of the buyers and the seller, right? So here right now, when the price is moving down, it's actually the seller, because they are kind of selling the share and at a very fast pace. So the price is actually falling down. So price moves down at this region because of the seller's action, whereas on this side, when the price is starting to move upward, that is due to the buyer's action, because buyers are willing to pay higher price to get this particular stock, so the price moves up. Okay, so we're going to look at these two, buyer side and the seller side, and then we're going to do the prediction of what's going to be the next price level where it's going to go to. So when we analyze the seller side, when the price fall down, right, it takes like 5 bars. Actually, when you do a count here, it's actually I think 6. So let's do the count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 bars, but then why is it mentioning 5? Because the 5 denotes the period of time. So from one bar to another bar, it counts as 1. Okay, like that, if you come from one bar to another bar, like that, then you see a count of 5 instead of 6. So basically, we take the 6 bars minus by 1, and it's going to give us the period. Okay, so it takes period of 5 to move the price from up all the way to down. So that's basically what it means. Now we need to compare this against the buyer side. So now we're going to do the same and take the ruler, okay, and then we take from the low here, and then we move it way down. Okay, we take it from the down here all the way to the up. Okay, so it says 6 bars. If you count, then there will be 7 bars. Well, let's do the count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7, as I mentioned earlier, 7 bars, but then in terms of period, it's only 6. So because from one bar to another bar is counted as one period. Okay, so there are 6 period of time here. So basically, the buyers are taking 6 period of time to move up, whereas the seller just now only took 5 period of time to move it down. So if I give you this kind of data, what would you say from this data? So basically, it means that the sellers are actually taking a shorter time to pull the price down. So it means there is a kind of panicness in there, right? Whereas the buyers are taking longer, maybe they're a bit skeptical, so they're taking a longer time to push the price up. So the buyer side is actually a bit weaker compared to the seller side, because sellers are taking, they're just panically selling. I mean, in a short period, price moves down, right? So the sellers are stronger, whereas the buyers are kind of weak. So if you come to that conclusion, so you can immediately do another conclusion of the target price that you're expecting for this particular share. So because the sellers are stronger than the buyer, so we can expect the the price of Tesla here to even fall lower. Okay, it can even fall lower. The next question is, at which low is it going to hit? Okay, which low is going to hit? So to do that targeting, I'm going to get this tool, as I mentioned earlier. This is the second tool. We're going to use trend-based Fibonacci extension. I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to plot on the top here, okay, and then bring it all the way to down here, and then bring it up again to the high there. So as long as the high is reached, I'm actually extending on the width side. That's fine, but the height remains the same. Okay, so that's the height. So now you see on your left hand side all these Fibonacci levels. So now, okay, there's a bit of theory here. The theory is like this: when the seller and the buyer taking the same period of time. Say, for example, buyer took 5 period of time to pull down. Sorry, seller took 5 period of time to pull down. Buyers took 5 period of time to push up. So the buyer's 5 and the seller's 5, so they are kind of same. So in that case, the Fibonacci level is going to go down is to level 1. This is the theory part of it. I mean, that is the sentiment, because the power of both buyer and seller are the same. So we say that it's going to retrace back to level 1. Okay, but in our case here, it's a bit different. We didn't see that the buyer and seller having the same period of time. In fact, the seller was 5, buyer was taking longer time, which is 6. So since buyers taking longer time to pull the price up, so buyers actually weaker, sellers are stronger. So this price is going to fall even lower. So in this case, it's going to fall to level 1.618, Fibonacci level 1.618. So here is this, the way where I'm pointing, that's the price level we're looking at. That's somewhere around $200. We are looking that this share of Tesla is going to go down all the way to 200. That's a lot, So if you're going to short now, you better short now. You're going to get a lot of money, and if you're still holding it, you probably can sell it, and at least you cut loss not having a hefty loss after this. So now in our case, the seller was taking 5 period of time, buyers were taking longer, 6 period of time. Therefore, we say that the buyer is weak and the seller is strong, is going to fall all the way to 1.618. That's the theory. If the buyer and seller are the same level of period, then it's going to go to level 1. But because the buyer here is weaker, seller is stronger, it's going to fall even lower to 1.618. But say for example, there's a possibility for third scenario, which is not evident here because our scenario is a buyer weaker, but the seller is stronger, right? That's a scenario. But it can be another scenario we can see. It can be such that the buyer is a bit stronger, but the seller is weaker. So in that case, the price is going to retrace all the way to level 0.618. So there are only three levels: 0.618, level 1, and 1.618. Level 1 is both the buyer and seller taking the same period of time, so it's going to settle at level 1. But if the buyer is weaker, seller is stronger, it's going to go very low, that is 1.61. It's quite logical, right? Whereas when the buyer is stronger but the seller is weaker, it's going to settle down a bit higher, which is at 0.618. Okay, so that's the theory part. But in our case here, we saw the case where the seller was stronger, buyer is a bit weaker, so we are predicting it's going to go to 1.618. so that is a prediction. You can support that prediction by looking at the support and resistance levels that you have around that chart. So this is the historical chart that we are having on toward your left hand side. So when it was moving up, it's actually having some stages while it's moving up, so that creates a bit of support and resistance level. So once we predicted that it's going to fall to 1.618, we can see around that area, is there any support or resistance? Exactly, there is what we call this is a resistance level, right? So if you know a bit how to do support resistance, so this is actually our resistance level, and the down part here is going to be our support level, right? So these are the basic things about investing, right? You must know where is your support, where is the resistance, right? So the upper level is resistance, so there must be more buyer to push the price up, so they create a resistance. Whereas the down part here, this is actually the support side, where the buyer is gonna come in and buy, and probably the the sellers reluctant to sell, probably. Okay, so that's basically the support area, and the top part is actually the resistance area. So our 1.618 exactly falls in a resistance area. That's a double confirmation that very high likely that this particular Tesla share is fell down, went up a bit, and is going to fall all the way to this 200 price level. And it is not only supported by the Fibonacci level, it is double supported by the resistance level. It can be either support or resistance. We see which one is there. But in our case here, it's a resistance. So in this case, the resistance is going to support that the target price of 1.618. Oh, sorry, that Fibonacci level 1.618, where the price is 200. Okay. So I hope you have obtained some useful knowledge here how to do price prediction. So in this case, we predicted the Tesla price where it's going to fall to. So you can apply this to other shares as well. And I'll do another video after this, a couple of other videos to illustrate different other scenarios. Because in this scenario, we only saw that the seller stronger, buyer weaker. So we saw that particular scenario. I'll try to find some charts where we have a case where the buyer and sellers are equal in terms of period of time strength, and also we see another case where the buyer is stronger but the seller is weaker. So we'll see. I'll try to find those charts and make another video. So if you want to kind of polish your knowledge about this, you do wait for my next videos and all that. And I do have other videos talking about different analysis techniques, different analysis that you can do. So every video of mine actually talks about some new approaches to do analysis. So I hope you can go and visit and watch other videos of inside my channel. And if you find that this video is not so clear, I advise you to give some comments and ask me some question. I will answer you. And also you might want to rewind before that. Okay. So I hope you have got very good knowledge from me. If you like this particular knowledge and my approach of explaining, do like, share, and also subscribe my channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.